So I'm happy to introduce our first speaker, who is actually a very old and dear friend of mine. Although we have had our differences over the years, we always seem to work things out and bring things back together. She's going to be sharing her speech that she's competing with in the area humor contest in a few weeks. And Stephanie's speech is titled The 4 Agreements of Parenting. That brings Stephanie up. Okay, hello. All right. Hello, my name is Leo's mom. I had another name at some point, but it's no longer relevant. I am the single mother of one very energetic 8-year-old boy. Having worked with children for years before having my son, I felt pretty well prepared for parenthood. Ha, ha, ha. I still think I would have been all right if I'd given birth to a child instead of a verbal tornado. I'm told the universe only gives you what you can handle, though, so I suppose I should take it as a compliment of strong character. The universe also tends to give you what you ask for, and I did agree to name my child Leoric. For those of you that aren't hardcore gamers like Leo's father, Leoric is the name of the Mad Skeleton King from the video game Diablo 3. Probably should have seen this coming. Whatever the reason, I was gifted, like all parents, with a child that I would love endlessly while he tests me relentlessly. But enough about my tiny Mad King. What I actually wanted to share with you today is one of my favorite books, The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. If you haven't read it, just do it. It's excellent. I believe there is some missed potential, however. I would like to propose the writing of a new edition. In place of the original title, The 4 Agreements, A Practical Guide to Personal Freedom, I would like to propose The 4 Agreements, a practical guide to avoid throwing yourself or your child out a window. Let's begin. Agreement number 1, be impeccable with your word. Don Miguel reminds us that our words matter. Speak with integrity. Say only what you mean. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. Look, listen. They start out so cute and innocent, our little babies. They really can't understand anything or go anywhere. So other than being a slave to the crying and the pooping and the complete lack of sleep, you're pretty free to keep being you. Once they get older, though, you gotta turn the verbal filters on. They remember everything. We all know we shouldn't make promises we can't keep. When it comes to your tiny human, just don't promise anything. Don't give them anything to anticipate because number 1, if somehow it doesn't happen, things will immediately devolve into a Chernobyl-like situation. And number 2, they will not stop until it happens. I ordered my son a yo-yo the other day, and I thought it would be a nice surprise. But then I did the one thing that you just cannot do. I told him there was a surprise coming. That was it. Game over. The next 24 hours was jumping on furniture with uncontrollable energy that you could literally feel reverberating off the walls. What is it? When is it coming? Can I go check outside? Is it a Beyblade? Is it a plushie? Can I go check outside again? Trust me on this one. Just be impeccable and keep your mouth shut. Agreement 2, don't take anything personally. When the pandemic started, I spent the first 2 months enjoying an orange juice with rum multiple days of the week. Luckily, I noticed the extra squishiness it was adding and decided to make a change. After a particularly brutal workout, as I sat on the floor gasping for air, my wonderful son commented out of the blue, "You can really see the fat on your arms." I broke. I was so exhausted and already frustrated with myself, and his matter-of-the-fact statement just wrecked me. Here's the thing, though. He didn't know. He wasn't being mean. He was just being an oblivious kid. You can't take what they say or do personally, or you will drive yourself insane. They are constantly learning and testing things, and they have such big emotions going on inside their tiny bodies. So they throw things and they jump on things and they say random stuff, and it's not about you. As hard as it is to believe sometimes, they are not out to make you miserable. So when they color all over the walls or call you fat or break something you care about, you can't take it personal. Agreement 3, don't make assumptions. This pandemic has been going on for 10 long months, and my mommy senses are operating on a hair trigger. Combine that with a kid that is pretty definitely got ADHD, and I am jumping over every move he makes. I know he's not actually hungry. He just wants to procrastinate on his math work. He's not going to play with 17 Nerf guns later. He just doesn't want to clean them up now. But as a parent, we need to stay above water on this one. Once we go down the path of assuming we know what they're thinking, we turn into controlling helicopter parents. I know I can recognize his patterns of behavior, but I can't actually know what's going on in his head. Although I'm pretty sure it's something akin to a 3-ring circus battling dinosaurs in outer space. Whatever it is, sound effects indicate lots of lasers. Agreement 4, always do your best. This is the most important advice I can give you. No matter how hard you try with these tiny monsters, they won't give you much moment to moment. It's not their fault. Their brains are still developing. They will be ungrateful, self-centered, narcissistic little beasties most of the time. But every once in a while, they will remind you that on some deep subconscious level, they do see you. When you least expect it, they will give you a hug that literally comes from the depth of their soul. And they will look at you with more wisdom and love than you could ever hope to possess and simply say, "I love you, Mama." And your world will be complete. I have gotten this magical hug on a trip to Disney World and after sending the little bugger to his room. He knows he needs guidance and knows I'm doing my very best for him, even if my very best is never perfect. So parents, be impeccable. Don't take it personal. Don't assume anything and just do your best. Also, coffee and maybe wine. You've got this.